Good evening, everyone. This is Brian at Healthier4U Vending. Welcome to the Healthier4U Vending webinar. First and foremost, I want to welcome you aboard and introduce myself. I am Brian Swain, and my father and I are the founders of Healthier4U Vending. We've put together these webinars to be a quick and effective way to educate you about healthy vending. We're going to spend about the next 30 minutes or so introducing you to us and our healthy vending business model. The point of this webinar is not to sell you on us or what we do. It's really about getting you the information that you need to determine if this is the right business for you. We want you to be able to understand what it's like to actually own and operate a route of machines, how much time is needed to do it, and what your financial expectations should look like. By the end of this webinar, you'll be in a position to decide if this is the right opportunity and partnership for you and your family. Now, just so you understand how this webinar works, everyone is muted right now. You can make as much noise as you would like, and we will not hear you. This webinar is live, and we offer up a lot of information about how this works, but I'm also here to answer your questions. There's a little button on your screen that says questions. Click on that to keep that to pop up, and you can punch in your questions to me at any time. I'll stop from time to time to answer your questions and make sure everyone understands how the program works from top to bottom. Now, we're going to cover a range of topics, but the webinar is broken up into a few sections so you can ask questions without having to wait until the end of the entire presentation. Now, we're going to cover who we are at Healthier4U Vending and what our vision is for the healthy vending industry, how our custom-built machines and our visionary location program has reshaped the entire marketplace, how our training will teach you everything that you need to know about operating a successful healthy vending business and how to be successful while doing it, and then finally, how to proceed to the next step in becoming an H4U affiliate. So let's get this started. Again, I'm Brian Swain, and I'm the president and co-founder of Healthier4U Vending. I want you to have a good understanding of who we are and what our company is all about. My father's Del Swain, and he and I founded H4U to be an authentic, healthy vending company. Now, our goal was to bring the choice to eat healthy to locations and people who have decided to make that decision. For us, healthy products are the entire reason this amazing opportunity even exists. We knew that every company is trending toward healthier options because the public understands the value in making better eating decisions, meaning that there's massive opportunity to get the best in vending locations out there. Now, my father and I, we've been partners together in business for over 25 years now. We've done many different things in business over those years, but we immediately recognized the amazing opportunity in healthy vending. Well, we had the skills and the know-how to come into this industry and build a real healthy vending company from the ground up. We've been innovators and pioneers in business for years, and this industry truly needed innovation. The vending industry has been slow to react to technology and trends in eating habits. We knew that Coke and Pepsi are not about to make the changes to make it a healthier industry, so we knew there was tons of opportunity. Now, for those of you looking to involve other family members in the business venture, I want to speak to you a little bit about that. Everyone says, hey, if I ran this place, I'd do such and such, and everyone talks and acts like they could be a business owner and be a boss, right? Well, the truth is most people could do it to some extent, but they don't even try. Simply, they're too scared to actually pull the trigger and invest in themselves. In my family growing up, everyone was an entrepreneur. So my sister and I grew up seeing our parents, grandma, grandpa, aunts, and uncles even, own and operate their own businesses. We simply didn't grow up with the same fears and expectations of working for someone else. We realized that if our family could do it, well, then obviously so could we. And that's an amazing gift that you can give to your family as well. You show them that they don't have to work a job for someone else. You show them that they can control their financial future and their destiny by building their own business. And you show them by example, just as my family showed us. You can be an entrepreneur and walk your own path. Now, I see a lot of people coming into this business, partnering with their kids, spouses, aunts, uncles, siblings, and I absolutely love it. Working with family, it really is a dream come true, and I encourage anyone of thinking of working with family to do it. Great communication and understanding each other's roles are two sticking points that you need to define early. But with that in place, you're going to be unstoppable. Now, I look forward to helping everyone get into the business of healthy vending, but especially those who are seeking to operate a family business. Now, for those of you that already own a business, you know what I mean when I say this. Every business eventually becomes a family business no matter what you do, but it's kind of nice going into that, understanding it right up front. Now, everyone is here on this webinar because you're looking for opportunity. Now, maybe you've owned a business before, or maybe this is your first time, but everyone is here because you've seen the opportunity in not just healthy vending, but investing in yourself to launch a business. Now, congratulations on even making it this far, because owning your own business, it's not for everyone. You have to have the desire to succeed, but you also have to have the ability to manage yourself. Now, my family of entrepreneurs, accomplished so many different things in different businesses over the years, but I always had them to lean on for expertise and advice to provide me mentorship. Well, now you have access to real entrepreneurs like myself and a team of professionals here at the company ready to help you launch your new business. Now, you might be evaluating different healthy vending companies or even different businesses altogether. However, I will say in my experience in business, this business with this company is one of the easiest models I've ever seen. The business model is simple and the products sell themselves. In most businesses, the challenge is even getting people to understand what it is you're selling. Now, if you open up something simple like a coffee shop, right, the challenge is still getting people to understand why your coffee is different and better and why they should come across the street and try it. That can be a tough job to do. Well, you also, in most businesses, have that challenge of finding and maintaining great employees. They need to share your passion and your values for the business. They're on the front line of your business and the face of your company. Finding and managing employees, well, it can be a real challenge. In vending, you may or may not even have employees. In healthy vending, your challenges are vastly different than those. You simply need to understand your consumer and offer the best service to your locations. You don't need to convince people that they're hungry or thirsty, or you don't even need to convince them that they should eat healthier stuff. That's not really our role. We're there to support the people that have already made the decision to make better eating choices, and it's that simple. Now, for those of you that are looking at other healthy vending companies out there, I would be wary. In my opinion, every company in this industry is a joke and not a funny one. Look at the management teams, the hardware, and their track records. It's atrocious or non-existent. When I evaluated this industry back in 2010, I looked at the ownership and management of every company in the industry. There are no real entrepreneurs running these companies. These are all companies that have been around forever selling junk food machines. They might be on their third or fourth name change or even ownership. Now, they just think healthy options are a gimmick to get their foot in the door with you and make their model seem updated, more relevant. But what they don't tell you is they're not even in the healthy product industry. And that's simply put, their machines won't do what ours will do. They just say, hey, we're pretty healthy, and yeah, you know what, you can do whatever you want, but hey, we're going to take you down this path. They slap some healthy looking graphics on the machines, maybe change the name of their company, and then claim, hey, we're a market leader because we've been around for 20 or 30 years. Well, that's a telltale sign. There was no healthy vending 20 or 30 years ago. There was not a single company doing what we do until we started doing it in 2011. And it's a sad joke to me as well, because they know that they're slinging outdated, low-quality machines imported from wherever with no real business model behind it. They're just offering the same old thing under new names and selling the same garbage-level equipment. And you're going to get the typical used car pitch when talking to them with the same tired answers. And if you listen to what they're saying, you're going to hear what I'm saying is true, because they're not even good at faking it. Check out their social media profiles. You're going to see junk food in the machines in zero real operational locations. It's all just a bunch of cheap talk. Now, if you decide that you really want to run a successful business and be part of the healthy vending industry, we're the only real choice. Nobody can compete with what we offer because nobody's bothered to build a machine or a company to do what we do. Join us and become part of the story of healthy vending, because we've taken the time to build a real healthy vending program that is focused on unique and interesting products, and we have a superior custom-built machine to do the job. The program is a culmination of years of business experience and actually running healthy vending machines and obtaining top-tier sites. Now, I ran a route just like you want to do, and it impacted everything. We set up a route just like you so we could understand exactly how it all worked to make sure that we understood what things look like from your perspective. Well, we changed almost everything in the machines. We made them more versatile to accommodate all the different packaging that you find with healthy products. Now, healthy products have a lot of different shapes and sizes, and as such, we needed machines that could handle that diversity of product. We also found the best in software and technology to make the business of managing those machines as simple and as foolproof as possible. Now, looking at the sales data from machines allows you to really understand things like which products, flavors, and types of items are working and which ones are not. You also see when machines need to be serviced and what changes need to be made during that service. That allows you to maximize your locations and really respond to your customers' preferences real time. Now, our vision is simple. We want to make the world a better place by providing better snack and drink options to those people that have made the decision to make better eating choices. And that's a pretty cool thing to be driving your business. You get to help people live healthier lives while living out your dream of owning and operating your own business. It really does not get better than this. Most people do jobs just to earn money. For many years, I was a contract manufacturer. I manufacture products all over the world. And I used to cringe at some of the silly, pointless stuff that people had me make. It was not satisfying to make most of that stuff, but the part of the business that I did love was helping factory owners make better use of their facilities and make better products that gave them a path to more profitability. That was highly satisfying. The more I did of that, the more I wanted to do. Now, when I realized that the healthy vending industry was loaded with get-rich-quick, flim-flam type companies, I knew that there was a chance to really come into an industry and do some good while helping people live better lives. Well, we've helped over 500 people get into the business of healthy vending. We've deployed over 6,000 machines across the country. So we've certainly made an impact. And that's why my father and I do what we do, because we love helping others scale up their lives by owning their own business. And we've made this business model so simple, almost anyone can do it. Now, when I researched the industry, I knew that with the right machines and the best team, we would dominate the market. Well, after searching the world for a machine that could do all the things that we needed it to do, we determined it did not yet exist. Well, we then partnered with the largest vending machine manufacturer in North America, and we went to work designing a customized machine that could handle the demands of top-tier locations. Well, we've continued to innovate our machines and have truly revolutionized the vending industry by designing and building the best machine for the job. We then put together a team of professionals that share our passion for helping people live their entrepreneurial dreams. Now, our vision is bringing healthy snacks and drinks to those people that have made the decision to eat healthy. It's that simple on the consumer front. There are healthy eaters everywhere out there in today's world, and most just simply do not eat out of vending machines. Well, we're changing that one machine in one location at a time. Now, you don't have to be a gym rat or someone who's even the healthiest eater to be in this industry, but you do have to be willing to learn about the products and have a desire to provide fantastic service. If you have that, we can train the rest. Now, this is our first Q&A section of 3 that we've got built in here for you. So if you have any questions about the company, the vision, all of that, feel free to use that little question button there, and it should pop up a keypad, and you can punch in questions to me. But if there's no questions yet, we're just going to keep on sailing. All right, well, let's talk about machines. Let's discuss how our custom-built machines and our visionary location program has reshaped the entire marketplace. Now, with my prior experience of being a contract manufacturer, well, I understand how to get things made. I understand how to get the most out of a manufacturer. I knew that a strong manufacturing partner was required for this project because I required the highest quality vending machines to be made. Well, I ended up partnering with the Wittern Group. These guys have been around for about 100 years now, are the largest manufacturer here in North America. Now, I love the fact that they were here in the USA, but we chose them not just because of that, but because they understood our vision and they could actually manufacture a machine to meet our high standards. I'm not the kind of person that buys off-the-shelf products. I demanded game-changing machines that could support thousands of events per month without issues. I knew that the biggest complaint in vending, besides the lack of healthy products, is low-quality machines and bad service. We've all been witness to that. Now, this machine is purpose-built to deliver healthy snacks and drinks. Now, it might seem like a vending machine's a vending machine. What's the big deal? Well, we've all walked up to machines that have products jammed up, or it just wouldn't even take your money. You know what I mean? You're trying to put your money in, and the machine just keeps kicking it back to you. So you're flattening your bill on the corner of the machine, right? We've all been there. Well, that's not the bill. What that is a low-end bill acceptor that requires the bill to be perfectly lined up for the machine to read it. I know you're kind of surprised to hear it because I always thought it was the bill as well. Well, I told my engineers, look, I want a bill acceptor that's going to suck the money, and regardless of condition, get the order processed and get those people down the road. And you know what? They did it. It was not rocket science. It was that the industry standard is so low that that kind of thing is still acceptable. To me, it is not. We went through every piece of the machine and upgraded, redesigned, or invented the solutions that we needed to make a dream machine. And we did it. No machine can match our quality, versatility, and capacity for its size. And anyone who says otherwise is just plain wrong or outright lying. We have the biggest selection of drinks and snacks available for a machine of its size. And size is important. Giant machines don't fit in gyms or break rooms of companies like Topgolf or Mercedes-Benz. So we designed it to have a minimal footprint, but as large a capacity as possible. With over 350 items in a machine, we've accomplished that. Excuse me. Our use of technology gives us the most versatile machine, allow us to vend essentially any shape or size of product. Nothing like this machine ever existed until we built it. It is truly one of a kind. Now, the machine design is so important because healthy snacks are vastly different than traditional junk food that you find in machines. It's not the calories, it's the packaging. Healthy products have an enormous variety in packaging for their products. Plastic, paper, glass, round, rectangle, whatever they can come up with. It helps them to differentiate their brand from all the other competitors. Well, we embrace these changes and designed machines that can vend just about any shape or size of material, really just about anything. And that gives us the ability to carry what healthy eaters actually want. Now, just as a side note, there is not another machine developed in the marketplace today that was built to serve this purpose. I would know. I've continued to search for them. Not able to find them, we continue to custom build them. Now, the machines themselves are the best, which allow us to target, get, and maintain the best in locations. But before I get into that, does anybody have any questions on equipment? Going to give you a second there. All right, not seeing any questions just yet, so let's jump in and talk about locations, right? It's a big one. So let's talk about how we've revolutionized the industry by finding machine locations for you. Now, we're the only healthy vending company that offers locations for every machine sold. So if you buy a machine, you get a site. I don't want to waste a bunch of time about what other companies say about their location programs because most of it's just garbage talk, age-old games that are played by sales guys. The claims that are made are loaded with deception and half-truths. Just know that we are the only company that every machine comes with a location. So over a decade into the industry, we built relationships with some powerful companies and friends. Well, we work in partnership with these organizations to provide healthy options to all sorts of locations. We even work with junk food vending companies that are being pressed to offer healthier items. We come in and offer our selections, and they continue to offer their products. We're happy to set up next to a Coke or Pepsi machine because they do what they do, and it has no effect on our sales. These are different people buying different products. And Coke and Pepsi have some huge contracts, as you would imagine. So working with them has allowed us to get machines into locations that would otherwise be locked into long-term agreements with them. Because even they know that making healthy offerings is important for many of those locations' image. It just looks ridiculous that a hospital, as an example, has machines stuffed with honey buns and soda pop and nothing healthy. So they come to us and they say, hey, can you put some healthy machines into this site, take care of those customers for us, and it works great for us. Now, it's amazed the industry because we've catered to healthy eaters out there and allow them to still sell junk food. Working in partnership with them has changed the way the industry works and will continue to work into the future. Now, how does your locating specifically work? Well, once all your paperwork is signed and payments are finalized, we get things moving right away. We recommend getting all of that completed at least 3 weeks prior to the training class that you want to attend. We want to have some time up front to get to work and get the ball moving before you even get here. Now, once we get launched, we do a pre-training call with you where you and someone here at corporate are going to discuss building the route for you. This is not just where you want to place machines, but we want to learn about how you're going to run the route. How much time do you have to service machines on a weekly basis? Are you currently working another job? Are you available on certain days and things like that? We custom build your route and your business to fit you. We do this because our reputation is on the line as well. We want to make sure that once we get machines placed, you are able and ready to service those sites for years to come. It's just not about placing them happenstance anywhere as fast as possible and getting them in whatever locations we can get to say yes. It's about getting them in sites that are going to work for you over the long term. Now, once we learn all the details that we need before training even starts, we actually start searching for sites. Now, our objective is simple for you. We want to set up that first site inspection within a week or two of you getting back from training. So it's all fresh in your mind. You get back a week or two later, you do your first site inspection. Then the first machine ships out. And the program just keeps rolling with more location meetings and machine shipping out. We want a nice controlled pace of building up your route. And as you're getting more comfortable, we keep adding meetings and shipping machines. This process is flexible and the pace is catered completely to you. This business is simple to run, but we spin it up at a pace that's suited to you as well. Now, some people are more involved in the process and they get us points of contact and pictures of existing sites so we can really customize a pitch for any particular location. The pace in the process is impacted by you. This is very much a collaboration between you and my team here at Healthier4U Vending. Now, that's the program in a nutshell. And I can say it's been far and away the most innovative and successful location program ever launched in healthy vending. We work with just about every major brand in hotels, gyms, car dealerships, experience facilities like Topgolf and iFly. We're the largest provider for the United States Army and the US Airforce. No company can even come close when it comes to getting and maintaining top-tier locations like we've done. Our portfolio of sites is unmatched in the history of the industry. Now, does anybody have any questions about locations? And if not, you guys are kind of a quiet group, but that's okay, all right? I'm sure those questions will pop up. But for now, anything, let me know. If not, let's jump in and talk about training. All right, so we've given you the nuts and bolts of what we do and how our machines are the best machines in the healthy vending market, and we can prove that because we have the most extensive list of top-tier sites ever compiled in the history of the industry. Well, the only missing piece is how do we build the best operators to service these top-notch sites? Well, clearly, we've got a top-end training program. Our training takes place here in Las Vegas. You come out for a 2-day course that will teach you how to operate the business. Now, over the past decade plus, we've refined the training to really take anyone with the desire and the motivation, we can mold into being a top operator. We cover everything you'll need, including products, what to buy, where to buy, how to price it, all the way to loading and programming the machines themselves. It's a robust 2-day course that really puts you into a position to be a success in the industry. Now, the training is included in the package prices. There is no additional cost to attend, but it is required. We do not do online training. Simply put, online training does not work. We tried it back during COVID, and it was a mess. People just didn't retain the information provided, and when machines would show up, they were just ill prepared. So if you're unable or unwilling to come to Las Vegas for the training, then this is not the opportunity for you. We do not cut corners and we do not make exceptions simply because we want success for you, because ultimately that reflects upon us as well. Now, your only out-of-pocket expense for the training is to get to Las Vegas. Once here, we put you up at the Silverton Hotel and Casino. We use our HVU shuttle to bring you back and forth to train each day. And we also cater in lunch on Thursday and Friday, and we even take you to dinner on Thursday night. Now, this training works so well because we get you access to real professionals who currently run successful healthy vending routes. Then we give you the plan that they use to obtain their goals in the business and the ability to use them as a mentor for yourself coming up in the program. So you actually have access to the trainers that trained you, that are owner-operators in the field that you can speak to in the future. It's all about having a mentor in this business. Now, our training program is a proven program with over 500 operators running businesses all over the country. We get you into a position that allows you to follow a proven path to running a successful route. Now, a good portion of the training is dedicated to what goes into the machines. Products are a hugely important part of the business, and we have a fantastic program that allows you to buy from real distributors at real wholesale prices. Now, these companies are also great assets for you to get product knowledge. They know what the new hip and happening product coming down the pipeline is. And our business is all about having new and interesting products that you don't see everywhere else. When protein water first hit the market, we were one of the first major distribution channels for it. We knew the product to be hitting gyms because they're always looking for protein products, and they're kind of tired of all your traditional protein things. So they're thinking, hey, water, hydration, protein, all at the same time, I'm in. So we started telling people, hey, put it in the machines, and sure enough, higher sales resulted. Well, we want to carry the popular healthy brands, right, like Celsius, C4, Quest, whatever's hot, but we're going to bring in the flavors that don't get the widespread distribution, right, because that allows us to create a scarcity with the products that we're selling because we have little competition on selling it. And that's a key to success in the business. Bringing in flavors of known products that don't get the Costco or the Walmart distribution. We carry the next hit thing, and we get maximum value for it in the machines. This business is all about maximizing your sales with what we call product evolution. We evolve the products from one item that on installs may be healthy, but it's not the best product, to better and better products with each evolution, gaining trust from the consumer and allowing us to develop a market for even better products on the next evolution. Well, as these products get healthier, well, guess what? They also carry a higher pricing, right? Making the business even more profitable. It's a proven program that really allows you to maximize every product in every location. Now, the training will take a seasoned business person, help you focus on the simple things that make this particular industry work. But for someone who is totally new to business, we're going to give you the knowledge to become a professional in this industry as well. Besides all of that, it's a great opportunity to meet the team and meet the other new operators. It is truly a game-changing 2 days for people. Now, here's the next upcoming training date. So make a note of what might work for you, because later we're going to circle back around and talk about these training dates again. But typically, our trainings are on the second Thursday and Friday of each month. They do fluctuate. Sometimes we get holidays in there, big trade shows in town, NASCAR, F1, things like this. So we'll flex around those dates. But typically speaking, it's going to be the second Thursday and Friday of each month. Now, let's jump in and say, well, what's the final piece of this puzzle then? Well, what's all this cost? Minimum investment is 5 machines at $59,475, right? That's $11,895 per machine. That includes the machines, location services, white glove install, meaning the machine is dropped into final position in the location, ready for you to load it, program it, get it up and running. There is no additional cost to any of that. It's all built in because for every location, it needs a machine. Every machine needs a location and white glove install, right? Just the way it works. So it's all built in. Now, as you buy more machines, 10, 20, 30, 40, these are price breaks. So as you go all the way from at 5 machines at $11,895, all the way down to 40 machines at $94.95 each. Now, one of the things that we do that's pretty awesome as well is we give you a price lock guarantee, meaning that if you come into the business at 10, say at 10 level, right, 109,950, so you're at 10,995, and you decide, 3 months, 6 months, whatever down the road that you want an 11th and a 12th machine, well, you're going to be at that same price point, 10,995. You can continue to add machines in the future at whatever the lowest cost you paid per machine in a package of equipment is. So that gives you the flexibility to continue to grow that route over time, because in this business, scale is everything, right? When you think about like all your fixed costs and such that you have a business, your licensing, your QuickBooks software, filing taxes, all that stuff, your insurance even, doesn't matter how much equipment you have. You have 5 or 40 machines, it's the same cost for all that stuff. But obviously you got a lot more, earning power with 40 machines than 5. So that's why in this business, you're going to scale. That's a total natural thing. That's what we want to do. Want to get you in, say you start with 10 or 20 or whatever, we get you up and running, proof of concept, you see the thing working. With 10 good locations, not great, 10 good locations, you've got cash flow to buy a machine every 90 days. So that's what we want to do. We want to continue to sell you equipment. So it's a win-win situation. So just know that going in. Now, at this point, most people ask me, well, how many machines should I buy? Which package is going to fit me? Well, this is a personal question for you to answer. What is it you're looking to get out of the business, right? Now, I can tell you what I would do, but my goal is probably different from yours. Maybe you're looking for part-time side income. Well, maybe 5 or 10 machines is going to do the trick for it. Are you looking to transition away from a full-time gig and you want to replace your salary ultimately? Well, then this is obviously going to be more machines. But what's your timeline? Is that in the next 6 months, 2 years? What are you looking to do there? It's all about you. How much time do you have to run a route right now? Big one to answer. Do you have restrictions on when you can service sites? All of this needs to be contemplated in order to determine what number of machines and what types of sites we need to secure for you. Now, just to give you some idea of what I would build if I were coming into the business, I'll run you through a quick scenario, and then you can kind of build a parallel business next to it compared to kind of my Q&A to myself, if you will. Now, I work full-time, obviously, but I've got some time in the evenings, and my weekends are mostly free. Now, I don't really need the money to live day to day, but I want my nest egg to continue to grow, and I absolutely want the tax benefits of being incorporated. Well, I would look at 10 machines for about $110,000 total investment. I know that the 10 machines is not going to be a full-time job. It's going to take me about 10 hours per week to run the route. That includes buying the products and servicing machines. 30 to 40 hours per month, totally doable for me. Now, I would want to service my machines about 3 to 5 times a month each, roughly once a week. Not super busy, but financially rewarding without a large commitment of time. That I can easily handle. Now, on a service schedule like that of 3 to 5 times per month, I would expect my machines to be clearing about $400 to $500 a month in profitability, right? That would give me about a sub 2-year payback and basically double my money in 5 years at that 10 level. That's what would work for me. So that's what I would build. Now, I also understand running the 10 machines is not a major commitment of time at 10 hours per week, but it makes a solid return on investment and gives me a sizable investment for me to be able to generate things like tax write-offs, depreciation, things like that, as well as continue to add machines in the future at that 10 price point. So that savings continues to come back to me at the 10 level, which speeds up my ROI, right? So what is it you're looking to do, right? That's what this is about. It's all about you. What are you looking to do income-wise? Now that you know what's possible for time and profit, you just need to figure out what works for you. And when I say time and profit, think about that, 3 to 5 times per month, right? $400 to $500 profitability. Now, if I'm going to build a business model that I'm like, look, I need my machines to do $800 to $1,000 a month in profitability, I've got to have the time to be able to make that work. Now, for me, I just don't have that time, right? I got a full-time gig. If I get machines to get up to about $1,200 to $1,400 a month in gross, I put a second machine next to it. Why? Pushes out that service date. Because I only have time to be going out there 3 to 5 times per month. If I've got a machine that's doing about 12, 13, right in that range, maybe 1,400 a month, that's going to start to be a twice a week machine. So for me, I've got more money than time in this case, and so I'm going to put additional equipment next to it, slow that service schedule down, and make sure my location's always got selections. Because what I don't want to do is run out of product, create outages, create complaints, and then run into problems with the site, right? Makes a lot of sense. Now, you just need to figure out what would work for you. So be realistic about the time and equity side of the business. And we can send you out. Just, let us know, okay, this is what I'm thinking for training date. Maybe I'm looking for next month or the following. I need 10 machines is what I'm thinking. and we can send over all the paperwork so you can read through all the contracts. Everything that I've said here tonight is in those contracts that's relevant. Everything from how locations work, how the services are provided, training, meals, it's all detailed out. It's very simple to read. It's like a 4-page contract, super easy. But it details everything out so you understand exactly what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. And then it's all very crystal clear for you. Also, in with that paperwork, you're going to find 10 actual H4U affiliates that you can speak to as references about the business. Now, these are not paid and compensated people to take your calls. So you might have to track them down, might have to send them a text message, set up a time to talk to them, that kind of a deal. Because again, they're not compensated in any way for taking your calls. They simply take these calls because they love the industry, they love the company, they want to tell people about it, and people love to talk about vending, right? So you can talk to those people as well, but I want you to read through the contracts, read all the small stuff, what's the warranty, how's that work, so on and so forth. And then when you get them on the phone, ask them the big stuff, right? Big stuff being, knowing everything that you know now, would you do it again, right? That's the biggest question you've got. Ask it. How is it, what kind of money are you making, and how has this affected your taxes? How much time are you spending running your business, and bottom line, what's the profitability look like? That's what you're trying to figure out with the business, right? So just ask them. They're going to tell you, the truth. That's why I don't pay them. I want them to tell you realistic things, not, pie in the sky. Yeah, I sit on the couch and watch TV all day, and my machines do $5,000 a month. That's just not realistic. You can have a machine selling $5,000 a month, but you're going to be going out there probably 3 times a week, right? So that's sitting in the couch and being successful in vending are not two things that go hand in hand, right? The passive aspect of the business is great, but eventually the machines have to be serviced. So be realistic about what you're setting up for your goals of the business and ask them questions. What's this look like, bottom line on paper? How does it all come together? Now, the next step of the process is pretty straightforward. You're going to get a text message and an email from us about getting you on a call with Dina Delavey. Dina, along with her husband, Todd, are H4U affiliates out in Southern California. These guys are great operators, and we want everyone to have a chance to speak to them about the business, right, to see if it's a good fit for you. Todd also has some great resources for lenders and has walked numerous people through different programs to get people established if you require financing. So if you've got financing, set up a call with Todd. He can walk you through it. Now, in the communications from us, you're going to see a link to get on their schedule to have a meeting of the minds to get those questions answered. They can also get you the paperwork to speak to those other affiliates and read over the contracts and all that as well. So I really encourage you to grab a spot on their calendar as soon as you see that email or text come out from us, because outside of the webinar, it will be some of the best time that you could spend to learn about this business. Now, we are at the final Q&A. So we're running just almost exactly 30 minutes there. So that's pretty good. So who's got questions on the business? And again, don't be shy. Like, you guys have been kind of a quiet group, which is fine. But again, don't be bashful about it. That's why I'm here. I want to answer your questions. I give you the opportunity to talk to a founder and president of the company, which not everybody gets that opportunity with most businesses. But I do it simply because of the fact that I really want you to understand from the lion's mouth what kind of a company we are, what expectations should be, how the business works, and just how you're going to fit into it. Because ultimately, I'm letting you trade on our name and reputation. So I want to make sure that you understand what it is you want to do in the business, and you're a good fit. Because I don't want to put you into a contract and you're not servicing the machines. It's creating complaints and problems and things like that. That's just bad, And so I'd rather be super upfront with you about how it all works, make sure you understand it, and then get you into the business if it fits. And if not, wish you the best on whatever you go off to do. So don't be bashful about it. All right, first question I've got here is, do you use AI in your systems? Now, AI is becoming, AI is becoming one of those kind of buzzwords that are out there. Kind of like when the iPhone came out. Remember when iPhone came out and then all of a sudden it was everything, right? That's kind of AI right now. There's some companies, and these are basically, they're low-end Chinese companies that are bringing in coolers with AI software. The AI software is not really AI. What it is, it's either optical infrared or cameras and software that's trained to detect what's being taken out of the machine. The technology, it's pretty slick. It's been out there for a long time. It's not new. That's the other thing that's kind of a joke. It's been out there for years. I've been looking at this stuff for like 6-7 years. It's not perfect. That's the problem with it. It's still got a lot of bugs in it. And the new spin on this technology is software companies are the ones behind it because, they're putting the AI lingo on there. And so what their game is basically they say, hey, you know what, we'll run all your software and POS and study the data and make sure all the transactions are right, blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, you're going to pay them a percentage to do it. So between, being, a lot of those equipment is cashless. So you've got your, 6 points you're paying, credit card companies and stuff, which is standard. But then you're going to have them another, 2 to 4 points. Well, paying 9% over the life cycle, that's a lot. That's a lot to be paying. I mean, we're not selling, Rolls Royces here. You know what I mean? So that's a lot. And to me, that's a big hindrance to that market. Plus, theft is a big issue. And if you don't believe me, trust me, right? We've all seen the news, and we all know that morality went out the window sometime in 2020. And even if it, it's got the pre-locks on it and stuff, and say, oh, swipe your card, you know who they are. You go to the state of California, people don't care. They'll swipe their card, gets a pre-authorization, they take everything out of the machine, close the machine, card gets declined, and what are you going to do? The police aren't going to do anything about it. So it's a massive liability when it comes to that. So yeah, technology is just not quite there. It's coming along, but maybe another 5 years or so, it'll actually be there. But yeah, most of that AI stuff is just real scammy, and I would steer away from it. And again, if the stuff worked, I'd be selling it. I mean, I love the idea. It's not functional quite yet. All right, next one. Do I need to buy products from you? No, you're going to buy products directly from distributors. Now, we set up distributors for you, so you can use our distributors or not. Totally up to you. But, I don't have any back-end agreements with any of our vendors that we don't get percentages or kickbacks or anything of any kind, simply because of the reality is I want them to push the cheapest prices that they possibly can with the best possible product to you, right? And at that level, what do? You make more money, and then that starts to come back around to me because you get proof of concept, you're making money in the business. What do? You buy more machines. That's what I do, right? So I don't need to make nickels and dimes on your product, drive up your operating cost. Instead, what I want to do is sell you equipment. And so we don't have any back-end agreements with any of these companies. So you can use them or not. We give you access to all these companies because they have great programs, great products, and they're aggressive. They give good discounts, terms, and all that stuff. So we recommend that you use them, but ultimately it's up to you. And again, that goes with product. We have, products that we know sell and recommend, that kind of a thing. But we don't limit what you can do because, honestly, regional preferences have to be part of this industry. There's too big of a list of products to be able to accurately keep track of. Like, as an example, if you're in the Southwest here, right, we have jerky. It's called alien jerky, right, which sounds kind of weird, but down here, alien means not necessarily space aliens. It means Area 51. Area 51 means range fed. There's bazillions of acres out there and all these cows roaming around out there. And you have to be careful if you go out there, right? Because they'll mosey onto the highway. But we all know what that means. That's range fed beef, free range, all that. And they're known to be a healthier brand down here. But if you take that Alienware and you put it, or alien jerky, and you try and sell it in New York, people are like, "What says I don't want to eat an alien? I want to eat beef," right? So completely different. So you've got to have regional preferences with product. And again, stuff like everything down here in the Southwest, spicy jalapeno, flaming, etc. You've got to be able to cater to that. And it's just, you want to use local brands and known things because, again, we're looking to sell premium product, not stuff that necessarily was manufactured, in giant factories and has a bazillion, distribution points, So again, ultimately, the product and the distributors are up to you. We're going to recommend stuff to you, but it's up to you to use them or not. Does a machine accept credit cards? Yes. Credit cards as well as cashless, all cashless transactions, meaning not just credit debit, but also meaning like Samsung Pay, Apple Pay, Google Pay, all that stuff. So all the stuff that you can pay off your phone now, with the tap technologies, yeah, it takes all that stuff. Are there limitations on products lines? Yeah, I just kind of covered that. No, you can do what you will. If you put junk food in there and Diet Coke and stuff like that, you'll fail. It just is what it is. I don't have to police it because it self-polices. Next one, do you have product discounts? Absolutely. That's part of the beauty of working with us is we have, as an example, with Muscle Foods USA, they're a several $billion-a year company. They're the largest supplier to stores that we've all seen, but we don't really think about where they get their product, like GNC, Vitamin Shop, AFES, that kind of a deal. And they actually supply all that stuff to them, who then sells it, right? Well, you have access to the same product line. And we do that for a reason, because again, you get regionality differences, types of location difference. Plus, like if you've got a location that'll buy protein mixes and things like that, well, then sell it. It's an expensive product. You want to be in on that. Versus like if you're in, a school and they just want to buy like, gummy bears and things like this that are naturally sweet and all that, well, then you get the Smart Sweet product line, all of which is available through these distributors. You also have a national sales rep that works with all of our operators, right? So it's not, like I always kind of joke, I go, it's not AI, it's just I. You have like a sales rep that understands healthy vending on a national scale, deals with the products every single day, and you can call her up and ask her, what's the best selling, protein water, drink, hydration product, energy bar, whatever, in this zip code, and she'll know. And so that's kind of a great tool that's built into it as well. And next one, hello, I opted into view how this works, but when this comes in, how exactly will it cost me out of pocket for anything, and exactly what does the company cover during training stay? Yeah, well, essentially your out of pocket is exactly what I showed you there on the slides, right? So it's like $59,475 minimum and up, just how many machines you want, just changes based on that. That includes like the machines themselves, the training's built into it, the white glove installs, freight, all that stuff's in there. So there is no out-of-pocket expense for that. Once you get the training, you get to Las Vegas. All you got to do is get to the hotel. We put you up at the Silverton Hotel and Casino. We cover rooms. We cater and lunch on Thursday, Friday, and we even take you to dinner on Thursday night at the hotel. So all that's pretty much built in. So just out of pocket, coffee here and there. And the one thing you won't do when you're here in town is starve, because clearly when you come into training, we've got tons of products for you to try and all of that as well. So yeah, pretty much everything, once you're here in Las Vegas, we cover it all. Next one, what's the estimated amount of initial investment, initial order to fully stock the machines? It's a good question, Mark. What you need to do, and you do need to budget this, because this is something that often I should talk about on every webinar, and I don't, but it's something that you should budget, which is about $200 per machine, okay? Because that inventory is always in the machines. Because when you think about it, right, the machine, you put $200 worth of product in it sells it for like $450, $500, right? But you go down to pick up the money and such out of the machine, right? What do? Put the product right back in the machine, because you're filling it back up. So there's always about $200 worth of snacks, drinks, and money in the machines, right? That's just the way it is. Because the machines have got to have money to make change, nickels, dimes, quarters, and dollars, because the machine takes pretty much every cash thing that you can come up with as well as cashless. So yeah, budget $200 per machine. You'll come in under that, but that's a good rule of thumb. Who repairs the machines? Well, hopefully nobody. I mean, first and foremost, we build a tank, right? We've been in the business now 15 years. Some of my initial generation 1 machines are still out there running, operating today. As far as I know, most, if not all, right? I've never seen a machine worn out from use, believe it or not. I've seen them dropped off freight trucks and things like this that get destroyed, but I've never seen them worn out from use. So first and foremost, build a high quality machine. Now, if in fact you do need service on a machine, we have a service network of over 500 technicians nationally that can come out and work on the machines if needed. The machines being made in the USA means there's always parts available. You don't have to wait on shipments, things like this. And that is just kind of a built-in perk of doing business here in the United States. So all built in. And again, I think a big truth on that is essentially our portfolio of locations. We would not be the premium providers for the Army, the Air Force, like LA Fitness, Hyatt, Hilton, etc., if we didn't have reliability. Reliability is such a key factor. You've got to have equipment that runs. So, and then if something does go wrong, you've got to have a process to get it fixed, which we do. All right, next one. Do we have the products you recommend or products we want in the machine? Yeah, we cover all that ad nauseum at the training, as well as you always have access to planograms for every kind of site. We know where to start and all of that. And then obviously it's left up to you, because each location you're kind of tweaking. That's just the realities, right? Like as you come into a location, you're going to start with said planogram, and then you're going to start to tweak, because the machines are, like, if you think about them on kind of the flip side, they're a voting booth, right? People walk up and they vote for what they like and what they don't like. So you start to figure out exactly flavor profiles, types of things, meal replacement, replenishment, hydration, whatever it is they're looking for. So you really start to see exactly what's going on. And then that's what you do, is you feed the machine and location more like product, make modifications, and dial it in specifically for each location. How reliable machines are, and how much should I budget for break-ins and fix? Well, that's what I'm saying. These machines, like I said, there's over the life cycle of the machine, we're 15 years in the business. right? So 15 years, long time. I haven't seen a machine worn out from use, which is crazy. But also, we have a long track record now of understanding what maintenance looks like. Average is $65 a year is what you're going to have in consumables. And that would be, as an example, little motors that burn up, things like that. And that's over the life cycle of the machine. So that's a long time. So essentially about $60 a year is all you need. There is no oil to change. There is no, stuff that you have to do on a machine on a regular basis. It's just, things wear out as they get used, that kind of a thing. But overall, the machine itself is going to last a long time. Refrigeration units, I've seen them go almost 2 decades now. All right, next one. There are used Healthier4U machines for sale online. Are there issues in buying these, and will you service for a fee? No, you can buy them. We simply can't. We can't run it like a normal business unless you come out to training. Or the only way to get to training is you got to buy some new machines. But as an example, if you want to buy, like say, just a 5-pack of machines or something, come to training and then buy those machines, feel free. And again, somebody will buy them up. And we do this very specifically for a reason. If we're going to represent the brand and go out and do locating and tell locations how it's all going to work and all that, you need to be in the same fold as us. You know what I mean? Just makes sense. Can't have you out there just doing whatever you picked up, here and there and operating on the brand. But yeah, I mean, they're yours to sell. So, I mean, you can, down the road, you can sell them to somebody else, so on and so forth. But yeah, so we don't restrict that. We just can't provide like location services and whatnot. Stuff like warranties and things like that, we still take care of. All right, next one. How long does it take to get a machine repaired if needed? That should be in the single digits, right? Days, like 2 days, 3 days, whatever. That's why we have the service network that we have. If a machine goes down, and again, it's pretty hard to take a machine completely offline. Like as an example, say you have like a coin mech that goes bad or something, right? The cashless aspect of the machine will still work. It doesn't take the machine offline. Or if you've got like refrigeration goes out, well, your drinks are warm, but your snacks are fine. So it's pretty hard to knock a machine totally offline. But with our service network that's available, still, it's in the singularity of, 3, 4, 5 days or something to get parts out, get a service tech out there, get it back up and running. And that's important to us as well, because again, we don't want machines in locations that aren't working. Burns locations, ticks them off, irritates them, that kind of a deal, irritates you. It's just a bad situation. So first and foremost, build great equipment that we don't have to deal with it. And, kind of proof to the pudding is our warranty covers even the service technicians, labor, all that stuff for the first 2 years, top to bottom. We cover everything. So that, and we couldn't afford to do that if we didn't have great equipment, because obviously you get nickel and dime. Because, a lot of the service technicians are independent, they're 1099, so they bill me whatever they want. So I pay their rate, So if I was sending people out there every day, that could get expensive. So first and foremost, build machines that don't break. Can we bring our partner to us to training with us? Erica, absolutely. Do you think that any wife is letting their husband go to training in Las Vegas without him? Come on. It's a good trip. And again, you jump in now, you got Valentine's weekend coming up, right? I think that training was at 12, 13. I think it was 12 and 13. So you got Valentine's weekend. So absolutely. And again, the more the merrier at training most of the time. We want to train whoever's going to be involved in the business because of the fact that we want you guys to both understand how it works, right? And you're going to get different things out of the training. Some people pay attention to different parts. Certain things make more of an impact on one person over another. So yeah, the more the merrier in that regard, because of the fact that we want the best possible trained team out there servicing the equipment. So absolutely. Who pays for electricity? Sites do. Yeah, it's never really even an issue that comes up, but yeah, locations do. How much time for the delivery of a machine at a location? Well, generally speaking, the machines from time of location, contractual commitment, right? So, and you've done the site inspection, we have everything we need. You're about 2 weeks to get a machine installed. It's probably a little bit less, but we'll say 10 days, 2 weeks. They get on trucks, leave right out of Des Moines. That's where they're coming from. So they'll go straight into the location. So there is no warehousing in between. They're not like made available locally, that kind of a deal. And we do that because the name of the game is we put machines in sites. If we put them in a warehouse locally, well, that's just an additional step, and it's an additional opportunity to damage the machine, all that stuff. So we go direct from factory into sites. Nothing in between. All right. See, I knew you guys would have some questions eventually. They all kind of came in at once, but it was like, boom, there it was. And now I've got through them all. So if you got any follow-ups, feel free to fire them off. And again, I'm happy to sit here and answer your questions because that's really why I'm here. Obviously, I could record these webinars and put them out there for you. I could have one of my staff members do it, whatever. I do it myself because I really want people to have the opportunity to ask Ask the owners, right? How does it work? How does all this come together? Don't locations charge you a fee or percentage for use of their sites? Yes, almost always. Like schools, gyms, workout facilities, military contracts, YMCA's, etc. Those are all going to be basically on like what's called sliding scale. Sliding scale is going to be a percentage of the gross revenue goes to them as the benefit to having the machine. Typically, there's no leasing or renting in today's world. It's all sliding scale. Sliding scales are going to be between like up to like $0 to $500. You don't pay anything. $501 to $999, 5%, and then like $1,000 to like $2,000 would be 10%, and $2,000 might go to 15%. There could be like an upper tier depending on what the site is. That's typically what your location contracts look like. And again, there's a lot of bad information out there. I mean, I was thinking about starting like a Reddit thread so people could ask questions, and I'd be happy to answer them for them, because I see so much bad information out there. And like one of the things that I see out there in the world in vending is people say, oh, I want locations that I don't have to pay a fee. And it's like, well, people in hell want ice water, right? But the reality is there's a catch to that. You can get locations that you don't have to pay a fee. Generally speaking, though, they're not going to be very good sites, right? They're just happy to have a machine. So like, great, if you want to put a machine in here, that's terrific. Yeah, you don't have to pay us anything. But I mean, do you want a location that does, $60 a month? No, you want a location that's doing $1,000 a month. A gym, a YMCA, a school, etc. They know that. They know that you're going to come in and do $10,000 to $15,000 a year in sales, and so they're like, "Hey, just give us, a fair percentage. 10% is generally what our contracts are for healthy product." So, it's a reasonable push. And in those locations, you're going to get a lot more for the product. So it really doesn't cost you anything. In fact, you want those sites, because if I'm in a fee-free site. Some fee-free sites that we do would be like some of our Hyatt, Sheratons, Hilton hotels are fee-free because we're in there for the employees, right? So we're on the back side of the house for employees. Well, the hotel is interested in it, like Ritz-Carlton is an example. The revenue, they don't care about the revenue. The revenue is insignificant to them. They want people to buy healthy products because they pay their health insurance. Right, so they want to push that as part of their wellness program, get people buying stuff out of the machines, right? Because ultimately they get the financial benefit of that. Well, in that regard, they want the prices as low as possible. So they say, look, you don't have to pay us anything, but be aggressive on your product price because we want a high participation level on the machine. Makes sense, totally fine. But like as an example, if I'm in like a Ritz-Carlton, right, I'm going to be selling like say Smart Water for probably $2.50 to $3. Now, if I take that same product and I go across the street and I am at, a workout facility, YMCA, something like that, I'm probably $4 to $5, right? Depending on where I'm at geographically, I'm probably $4 to $5. Same product. The point that I'm paying 10% is almost insignificant. Doesn't matter at that because I'm marking the product up almost 100% more because I can. And that was if there's a rev share or not, just simply because that's what vending is the ultimate convenience, right? So if I can get, $5 for a product, I'm going to get $5 for a product. The fact that I'm paying 10% of that or 50 cents makes no difference to me. All right, next one. How is product pricing set? Left up to the operators? Mark, it's a good question, but it's even simpler than that, right? We teach you to price your products according to the consumer, right? Not according to me, not according to what Muscle Foods tells you, et cetera. It's literally economics 101, price elasticity. You're trying to get maximum volume for maximum price point. That's what our interest is. We're not interested in having a, buy two, get the third one free kind of a deal. That's not what we do. We're looking to get maximum revenue for the amount of service that we're going to do. So based on that, ultimately the consumer is the one that's going to tell you what price is a little bit too high, a little bit too low, right? Based on volume. So that's how your pricing set. So yeah, all your prices are set by you and we teach you to do it. But yeah, I mean, I've even had machines that were in the same building, like on different floors, and I had the same exact product, that would be downstairs, and I'd be cheaper on it than this one's upstairs because the people upstairs are willing to pay more for it. Why? I don't know. There was a dude, it was kind of a different client, but same building. People upstairs walked right by the machine downstairs, and they'd pay like 50 cents more upstairs. So yeah, it's about every product and every location is about maximum value. All right. Any additional questions? do you have machines in Brevard County, Florida? Well, I would absolutely hope so. I mean, Florida's a huge market. And I always say, like, yes, absolutely. I mean, I don't know specifically off the top of my head what we've got going on down there. But, I mean, yeah, we've got machines in every major metropolitan. We have machines pretty much in every major market. Saturation, whole different ball of wax. And again, no matter what I told you, if I told you that we had 1 or 100 or 1,000 or whatever, I would still tell you to do this because this is the realities of the market. We've got about 6,000 machines out there nationwide, right? There's about 4 million viable vending locations. That number is growing. It's not getting smaller. It's getting bigger, right? So there's about 4 million viable vending locations out there, and we're only at about 6,000 of them. So put it this way, even if I told you where the machines were, you still have to poke around to find them, right? But go out to some locations. You know, you're thinking, because I can tell you right off the top of my head, where are some good sites in your area? YMCAs, gyms, schools, workout facilities, private schools. That's what you're looking for, private, not necessarily public. Private schools, gyms, workout facilities, batting cages, golf ranges, right? Go take a look at some of those sites and see what you see. Chances are you're not going to see any of my machines or any healthy products in any vending machines because that's just where the market is today. But yeah, so there's no chance of saturation. I mean, our highest density of machines obviously is going to be in Southern California, and even that is not a saturated market. It's just such a big market. All right, okay, just to be clear, as you mentioned earlier about the training, will the payment for the machines be due at the time of training? No, it's due before training because we want to get you into training, right? And we want, like, by the time you get to training, there's certain stuff that we want done. We want you to have your business accounts opened, right? So your business licensing, all that stuff complete. We want to have merchant accounts open, meaning bank accounts. You want to have your bank accounts open, and we want to start establishing your Greenlight account, which is your cashless aspect of running the business. So you can take all the cashless payments and all that. We want all that stuff in the works before you even get to training. So then when you get to training, we run you through what we're doing. We've spent the prior 3-4 weeks finding locations. Then we school you up on all the information. We sit you down at the end of training, explain to you what meetings and whatnot we have set up for you. And then when you get home, that next week, you're going to be going out, looking at sites, signing off on locations, machines start shipping, and then hopefully within about 3 weeks of training, your first machine's dropping into location, right? So that takes time, and so again, I don't want to train you and then have, this 5, 6, 7 week delay in us getting equipment out the door because you start forgetting what you learned, all that. So yeah, everything is done prior to training, and then by the time you get to the training, everything is already way in motion at that point. So yeah, training is not a sales process. Training is operations. All right. Any additional questions? Feel free to fire them if you got them. You guys have been a good group. These have been good questions. And again, keep them coming if you got them. I'm happy to sit here and answer them for you. And I also understand you're probably getting tired of hearing me talk, so I'm okay with that too. Up to you. All right. Well, I'm not seeing any questions come in, but if you've got them, just shoot them over to me, but I'll start to wrap up, and so we're not just sitting here with dead air wondering what's going to happen next. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming out tonight. I really do appreciate you coming to the webinars, and great questions. I appreciate robust questions and really helping you understand what this business is about to see if it's a good fit for you and your family. And if it is, we do a deal, we get you in the business. If not, we wish you the best on whatever you go off to do. But I appreciate you guys participating in this, learning about Healthier4U Vending, and hopefully how you're going to come into this industry with us and help change the market, because it's just a dynamic industry. It's exciting. It's a great time to be in the business. It's a great time of year, right? Like right now, everybody's eating healthy. Right? It's post-holidays, right? So we all got fat during the holidays. Now we're trying to take it off. So it's a good time of year to be coming in. Health and wealth is top of mind right now for everybody. So a good time to be in business. All right. Well, I want to thank you guys one more time for coming out. And I look forward to the opportunity to work with you and get to meet you at one of our next upcoming trainings here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Good night from the desert, and thanks again, everyone. Good night.